Hello Airsoft friends, and welcome to this video where we are going to go and hopefully achieve ultimate camouflage. I've been thinking about camouflage, and I've been thinking about how important it is to try and stay hidden and not be seen when you're being a super sneaky sniper. And even if you're not being a super sneaky sniper, if you just want to be super sneaky and not be seen. And I was thinking, like, what would be the best way to do it? And you can see in the background, I've got my DMR here. It's got one of the old legs from one of my old ghillie suits. And yeah, if you're in a bush and you know, this is kind of like poking out, it's a bit tricky to see. But I think we can do better, even though it's already looking pretty good. Generally speaking, you know, the rules of camouflage are breaking up your silhouette. So how are we going to do that? Well, when you're out in the field and you're playing and you're hiding in a bush, there's lots of trees around you. So I figured if I could somehow make my rifle look like a tree, then that's probably going to be a good start. The reason why trees are trees and why they look like trees and why sticks look like sticks is because of the bark. So I went out into the garden to acquire some bark from a tree. But then I realized that was going to be very difficult. And of course, trees are living things. If you go out and you just take the bark from them, you're undressing them, you're hurting them, and you could damage the tree. And I don't want to hurt a tree. Trees are lovely. They give us oxygen, so we don't want to do that. Instead, I went onto the internet and I bought some. Look at that. I bought a roll of bark. I've got loads of it actually. This is the rest of the roll. Here's the piece I'm going to be using at the moment. I guess it's kind of like farming your own meat. You know, I didn't want to go out and kill the pig, but I got somebody to send me the bacon. What I want to try and do is attach this bark to the rifle like this somehow. Already, where the bark is, where's the rifle gone? You know, like you can't see. Ooh, it's just a tree. So let's just start putting it on. Although I'm concerned that it's all kind of like dropping dust and tree stuff everywhere. So we're going to put it on. Hopefully it won't be too messy. And then life will be able to get back to normal afterwards. I'm going to wreck this rifle before I even get it out in the field, like, I swear. If I do, Dan, can you send me a replacement one? It came like this in shipping. The cable ties are all on there just to help the glue set and dry and stuff. I'm not too sure if that's ideal. It doesn't look to be like a lot of surface contact area on the wood, so that's not great. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this to set. This is what it looks like at the moment. So it's barky, that's for sure. The end does look pretty kind of terrible. I'm not too confident that this is going to be good. So let's just cut the cable ties off and see if this either becomes a horrible mess or the future of camouflage. That's actually not that bad. So that's what the end looks like. You can see, yeah, around that, doesn't look great. However, if somebody's looking at that, they're gonna get shot. So I'm not too concerned about that. I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna take my sniper rifle and I'm gonna put it on the floor in a way that hopefully will mean it won't be like hidden. Like I'm going to try and put it in a way which looks natural for it to be a player, and hopefully the environment will make it look like it's a stick. So let's go do that. Here we are back at our classic testing location, i.e. the tree bushy bit in the garden. I feel like at the moment, from the colours you can see, it's very green and brown, and the bark is quite white. So I think spray paint is going to be something which is really going to assist the blending in aspect here. If you're just walking along and you look there, I mean, it just looks like a stick. I mean, there's a bit of a suspicious tip on the end of this stick, that's for sure. But you wouldn't really expect anything. And if you've got like somebody leaf suited up here, then that isn't going to really be giving them away. Whereas if that was just like a black stick, it would certainly be an obvious candidate for giving the person away. Over here though, you can see a natural environment stick. It's a nice greeny kind of browny color. So I think that's kind of got like mossy stuff on it, or ivy, or maybe that is ivy, something like that, which gives it that kind of aesthetic. So maybe we need to be more green versus the brown. But anyway, let's stick it in another location and see how it does. Right, I've put it down. Just use your imagination here. Pretend that there's a sniper in a leaf suit who's just invisible, okay? So in this kind of environment, surrounded mainly by browns, it makes it super obvious that there's something kind of going on here, and it's just too white, it's just too clear. And I think that if you were in, like, you know, a forest of cork trees or even a forest of birch trees, then you're probably going to be okay. But as it stands like this, oh no, our sniper's been taken out. It's pretty obvious that it's visible, you know. Right, so let's try one more spot and see if that gives us the conclusion that we're looking for. It does seem a little bit too white, but we'll yeah, see what we can do. All right, we've got our rifle set up in the tree, as that's kind of like, you know, a potential setup. I mean, if I knew that there was people down there, I'd probably be set up or come down lower to make sure I've got a nice hidden shot. Let's run around and see what it looks like from the other side. So here, if you were walking around and you saw that, to be fair, it probably would catch your eye. Like from this shot here, it definitely doesn't blend in with the environment, and that's a bit of an issue. So I'm thinking, yeah, the coloring in this environment doesn't really match, but in a different environment, it probably would. Most of the places where I play though, it's kind of more similar to this, being in England. So brownie leaves on the floor, brownie trees and sticks, and then green leaves and stuff like that. So anything that's kind of like flat white, kind of like the tape I used before on my sniper rifle, just makes it stick out, which is yeah, not very ideal. So I think we're gonna get some spray paint this up, and hopefully that'll give us the result we're looking for. So we've got our paints. I've got my tan, my green, and my black. My green is running quite low, so I think I'm going to start off with the brown, give it some green accents so it looks like there's kind of like different coloured leaves in there, and then we'll do a bit of a black over the top just to darken it down like we did with the Mark 23 and also that little stubby Spetner Arms M4. And hopefully that will do the job. Now I'm going to spray it in situ here. I've kind of placed it on the ivy and some brown leaves there because I kind of feel like this is a good estimation of where I'm going to kind of be using it, what kind of coloured environment. So if I can make it kind of blend in nicely here, maybe put a bit more brown in it because it's supposed to be, you know, a stick, and we should be in a good spot. So let's give that a go. Go. That looks all right. Let's move it to another location. It will be a bit shiny though because it's wet, so take that into account. General floor location, I would say that looks quite stick-like, and also with the sticks there, that also looks quite good too. Again, on video, sadly, it doesn't look as good as it could do. And the underside, actually, I'll do that now. And that is now the underside. I'm actually really happy with how that looks. It's super stick-like. It actually looks pretty stick-like. I mean, if that was just on the floor, you'd be like, oh, look, it's a stick. So I'm overall happy with that. And I think if we go to the tree, go like that, I don't think that that's something which you'd probably take note of. Like, it is quite cylindrical for a branch, but then again, that one there is quite cylindrical too. So I think all in all, it's not actually terrible of a job. I guess we're not really going to know for sure until it's all dried off and it's flattened down a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside, I'm going to let it dry, and then once it's dried off, I'll show you what it looks like, and hopefully we've invented the next step in camouflage. And there we have it. Look at that. Look how much like a stick that does look. Like, if you're walking around and that's sticking out of a tree and you see it, you're not going to be like, oh look, it's a sniper. You're going to be like, oh my days, look at that stick. So overall, I'm quite happy with that. I'm not too sure how long it will stay stuck on, but to be fair, like, it feels stuck really quite nicely. There are a few little parts, as you can see, like here and here where the paint's come off, where the cable ties are on, like holding it together, because I did have to restick part of it, but I don't think that's really much of a big deal. Hopefully the paint doesn't continue to fall off during like game days and stuff, but if it does, I can always just grab the paint, give it a bit of a spray over the top, and then my stick will be good as new. So overall, would I recommend doing this? Well, it was fun and there's probably a better way to do it, but overall, maybe. Like, it wasn't that expensive. The bark, like I said before, was super cheap. I think it was about £8 per roll. So you can do a lot with your money for that, and yeah, like, it was a fun little project, and I'm looking forward to running this out in the field. So yeah, there you go. Stick mod complete on the SSG10. Now we've just got another thing to take out into the field and test as soon as we're out of lockdown. And that's it for this video. So thank you all for watching, and a huge shout out to all of my lovely patrons who support the channel month on month. I really appreciate all of you guys. And yeah, we're getting ever closer to the over £110 giveaway. So if you want to join in on that and, you know, get yourself a chance to win a ton of Airsoft stuff, head over to the Patreon and join the Airsoft Legend tier. I think there's only 8 spots left now, 7 spots left, something like that. So you're gonna have to get in there quick if you want to walk away with some stuff. Also, this episode was sponsored by Project Airsoft, so go check out the website and yeah, pick yourself up some goodies. A recent item we've released is a little TDC screw thing for the Mark 23, which actually just screws in the front of the trigger guard. Super, super handy. And yeah, that's really everything. So thank you very much for watching. Remember to call your hits, and I'll see you in the next one.